try to explain this as often as I can so that you understand how the body works. You see, I learned this in the 80s, but then in the 90s, everybody started counting calories, and the food manufacturers just jumped onto, the bandwagon, started making low fat this and low fat. It's all low calorie. This it's all nonsense. You have to understand how the body works, how the body makes energy for you. Everything that you eat gets broken down to glucose. It's important to remember that. And as soon as the glucose enters your blood, your hypothalamus, sits at the top of your brainstem. Hypothalamus triggers your pancreas that's hypothalamus there, that's it. Triggers your pancreas through the vagus nerve, releasing, pancreas says, right, we got energy to store. So the pancreas releases insulin. Now, insulin's job is to take that glucose and then put it in the cell, add oxygen, and you get energy. That's how the body works. It's not that complicated. The reason why most people put on fat, and if you go like relatives who are struggling with body fat, explain this to them. Because once you understand this simple concept, then you'll understand why we're being lied to, we're being told to eat, count calories and eat low fat. It's all nonsense. Now, your body is designed to store energy for you to access immediately, or store energy for you to use when times are hard. That's it. Let's look at bears, right? Now, before winter, the bears start eating lots of berries and lots of honey. Do you know why? Because that sugar is supposed to trigger their bodies into storing fat for winter, hibernation. We are designed the same way, whether we want to hear it or not. So even if you think I'm crazy, when you get home, back to wherever you live, just think about it. Let me try and do a bit more research on what this guy is saying. So how the body works. So when you eat a fatty meal, which is what we're supposed to eat as human beings, we're supposed to hunt. I know we can't hunt around here, but we're supposed to hunt. And then spring, summer, we get merry, we hunt. Late autumn, that's when the fruit's ripe. We're supposed to eat the sugar to trigger us to store energy for a rainy day. That's how, so we store the energy to help us, like we store fat, to keep us, to sustain us, to move to either a warmer place or to hibernate. That's how our bodies are designed. Once you understand that concept, it makes more sense. So the body works this way. When you eat a meal that releases insulin very quickly into your bloodstream, which a meal that makes this process, speeds up this process, that's the food that tells your body to store energy for any day, fat. So think about it. Most of the people who are carrying excess body fat, watch what they eat. They eat lots of carbs, lots of sugar, lots of stuff like that. And what happens is they're telling their bodies, the hypothalamus is telling their pancreas, guys, we need to store energy for a rainy day. So they store. Then all of a sudden, they are tired. And you think, hang on, you got all this energy on you. So somebody who is carrying 60 pounds of excess body fat, they're carrying over 200,000 calories. It's locked up, but they're hungry, they're tired. It doesn't make logical sense. Think about it. You're the students. Does it make sense that you're carrying all that fat on you and you're falling asleep? That's stupid. I think that's completely stupid. The reason why you're tired and carrying body fat and the body is asking you for more energy is because there's too much of this insulin in your blood. Now, insulin gets into your blood and it just gets rid of the blood sugar straight away, stores it. And eventually, when it stores it, it takes only a few seconds. At any given time, your body has only got a small amount of glucose in it, about a teaspoon. Whereas when it comes to fat, your body can store endless amounts of fat. So what I do, the reason why people follow me is because I teach them how to use fat for energy so that when they eat, their bodies are not instructed to store energy for a rainy day. Basically, they have access to the fat. Listen, if you've got any relatives who's carrying excess body fat and going to Slimming World, Weight Watchers, and all of that, ask them, do you ever feel tired? And they say yes. Do you ever feel hungry? Say yes. Why? You are fat. That's energy. No, it's the truth. You are fat. That's energy. You can use this energy. The reason why you can't use that energy is because your energy system is. Take a picture of this and try and understand what I'm saying. Your students, once you understand that and it makes sense, you think, wow. It's like when the penny drops and you think, okay, you feel tired, you got energy drinks and you're drinking it, and you think, well, it's giving me energy. No, it's not. That energy you're getting is like using a credit card. Eventually you think, why am I? You get even more tired because all you're doing is raising your insulin levels. And as soon as that happens, your cells like, there's too much insulin here. There's no glucose to store. So it's asking you for more. That's why you're tired. And that's why you're hungry. That's why you're craving. This is what I want you to do, right? When you get up in the morning, don't eat anything. Don't have breakfast, right? I know somebody's smiling at me. Look, when you get up in the morning, don't have breakfast. Wait until about 12, 1 o'clock. And then eat about 6 or 7 eggs. No, I know, you laugh, but just humor me, okay? Just humor me. Just if you eat, like okay, so when I was your age, if a 61-year-old man is standing there telling me, I'm like, oh, shut up, what are you talking about? But I was curious enough because I was fascinated by how the body built muscle. So I would have tried it. So just humor me. Just try it for 1 week. Just say, look, that Abbew is crazy, but let me just try what he's saying for 1 week. If you really want to feel like on top of the world, obviously, I'm not telling anybody to eat 6 eggs. I mean, the guys can eat 6, the ladies can eat between 3 and 4. It doesn't, obviously, that's different. You can even have a little bit of cheese with it. And then don't eat anything until maybe about the evening. Just try, it's an experiment until the evening. And then the evening, do you guys have facilities to cook with around here? Perfect, everybody's nodding. So who's got an air fryer? Almost everybody's got an air fryer. If you don't have one, go borrow some his. So what you do is you get an air fryer, right? Get an air fryer and get chicken wings. You know the chicken wings? Like the fatty chicken wings. And then get a whole load of it. You can get a whole box of it for about, a couple of quid. And then cook a whole lot of it. And just eat as much as you can until you're full. Just do that for about 1 week. Just humor me. And then message me on Insta and tell me how you feel in that week. No, because when you do that, what you're doing is this, right? You're eating foods that take a long time for your body to break down. So your hypothalamus is not responding too quickly. So your body's not being told to store energy for a rainy day. You're not storing fat. So all the energy will be released for you. I can hear murmuring, somebody's thinking, oh yeah, I'm not going to do that. But listen, try it. I hope you're looking at your phone trying to order chicken wings now. That's what you did, and I can see it. But you know what I mean? Even if you think that I'm crazy, just try it. And you got to start thinking, just think for a minute, right? Why is it that this guy has amassed that many followers in such a short time? Think about it. Why? And look at my Insta story highlights. Why is it that so many people are messaging him, telling him that he's saved their lives and he's changed their lives? They feel so much better. All it is that I'm teaching people how to eat properly. This diagram is very important. Remember, the foods that make your body store energy, release insulin very quickly, they're the ones that make you store energy for any day, make you store fat. And those foods are carbohydrates. Now, somebody will say, well, what about fruit? Listen, fruit is just like sugar. It doesn't matter what anybody says. You guys hear all the time, oh, fruit, it's got fiber, blah, blah, blah. When I was a child, bananas were that big and they had seeds in them. Look at them now. They're the Africans, they're like plantains, and they're massive big things. And they essentially bags the sugar. Do you know why they became that big? They've been hybridized because of our desire to eat sugar. Apples, look at an apple now. One day I had an apple in my house. It lasted for about 6 weeks. Nothing wrong with it. It's all perfect, all shiny. How do you think the apple became like that? We're crazy. We just want to change everything. We should be eating like our ancestors ate. The apples that they ate, we're not like that. Bananas they ate, we're not like that. Like we got seedless grapes. Now, seedless grapes, you think, okay, that's okay. If you're following what I've said with the eggs and the chicken wings, and then you eat fruit, you feel tired straight away. Now, that tiredness is because your body has released too much insulin in your blood. As soon as you got too much insulin in your blood, your body is told, hang on, we've been told to store energy for a rainy day. Let's not spend. That's why you're tired. It's not because you're studying hard. Sometimes I have 3 hours sleep and I get up in the morning and I'm like that. I'm still buzzing. You'll have energy. The reason why I got energy is because I've repaired my mitochondria. And you can do the same thing to yourselves too by eating the right foods. And the right foods are foods that sustain you. Fat, it's a more efficient energy than carbohydrate. A gram of fat has 9 calories. A gram of carbohydrate has 4 calories. So it's important to realize that the body's preferred energy store is fat. But we've been lied to for a long time. So we all eat all these carbs everywhere you go. You see all these supermarkets selling lots of crap and we all eat it. And then 2 minutes, you're falling asleep. Hang on, you're young, vibrant. You shouldn't be falling asleep at all. You shouldn't be tired. You should be, during the day, you should have a lot of energy. The reason why you don't is because most of the time your energy system is If you're carrying excess body fat, your energy system is messed up. If you've got a lot of these metabolic diseases, your energy system is there's too much insulin in your blood. Now, it's called hyperinsulinemia. It's at the center of almost all what's wrong with us. They say 9 out of 10 of disease is metabolically related. If you do an exam and you get 9 out of 10, that's a distinction. That means almost everything that's wrong with us is because of what we eat. In fact, and you can say, well, this guy's crazy, but please, when you get back, just say, right, let me just try what you said for 1 week. I tell you, it will change your life. Obviously, if in between you're drinking, coffee lattes and you're drinking all this, and that's different. That's still releasing insulin. Remember, what we're trying to do is bring your insulin levels down. Once you bring your insulin levels down to a certain point, you find that you have a ton of energy. I know that what I'm saying contradicts most of what you've been taught about nutrition. I studied nutrition too, and most of what I learned was just eat 6 meals a day and speed up your metabolism, and you need snacks. And every time you eat, your body has to release insulin. And insulin, hyperinsulinemia, and insulin resistance, it's at the center of almost everything that's wrong with us. And as soon as you realize that, you'll be fine. But the thing is, insulin resistance doesn't happen overnight. When you've got relatives, your mum, your auntie, whatever, the doctor says, oh, you're insulin resistant. Us African and Caribbean people, we are guilty of that. Even the Asians, we all are. All of us, you got an auntie. One of the relatives says, oh, we're all going to get type 2 diabetes. I'm like, you're not supposed to. The reason why you think we're going to get type 2 diabetes is because you're listening to the mainstream. Okay, if you're trying to lose weight, for instance, you eat 6 more meals, you lose the weight, but you put it back on. Because every time you eat, your body has released insulin. Eventually, there's too much insulin in your blood. And as soon as there's too much insulin in your blood, your body is told to store energy for a rainy day and doesn't want to spend. The reason why your body is asking you for more is because this hormone here is messing you up. And the only way to bring it down is to eat foods that doesn't trigger your hypothalamus and your pancreas to release insulin very quickly. And what are those foods? Fatty foods. I believe in fate. It's possible that there's a reason why I'm standing here. Maybe one of you is supposed to listen to me and actually change their lives. Because I believe that if you do that, it's happened to me, it's happened to so many people around me. Everybody in my team is the same way. We've always got lots of energy. And that's because we've fixed our energy system. One of the things that I get asked a lot is, Eddie, I want to grow my social media. You grew yours very quickly. How do you do it? Because I want to be an influencer, blah, blah, blah. And I always said to them, I never called myself an influencer. Never once called myself an influencer. That's not what I set out to do. I set out to educate. Because I was fed up with the advice that was being given mainstream. I didn't set out to become an influencer. So you never see me, promoting this shit, promoting So many companies came to us at the beginning. Can you promote that? I'm like, look at the ingredients in the thing. Did you watch my content? You're asking me to promote this. look at this. This is not food. Then eventually they all realize that. So I'm untouchable. They don't, what's the word? What do you call them? Undateables. I'm one of them. They don't come, nobody comes, none of these companies come anywhere near me because they know that, like, what's the name? John West, tuna. Because when I was young, I made a video and I said, when I was a student, I built most of my muscle eating a lot of tuna and eggs. So they sent me a whole box of tuna products. And I just took them all out the videos online, I took one by one. They've got ingredients that, I don't know who the made them, made in labs. I'm like, this is shit. They never did it again. You know, none of the stuff they sent me was food. I said, people can eat it. It will sustain them. They won't die straight away. But unfortunately, that's how this world is. So they'll make a product and they put an ingredient in there that will actually kill you if you have too much of it. But they give you a little bit all the time. Then somewhere down the line, you got this metabolic condition. Doctor says, oh yeah, it's an autoimmune condition. We don't know. There's no cure for it. It's a cure. It's a that you're eating. I personally believe that the human beings are, we can live a lot longer without diseases. But the reason why all of a sudden 1 in 2 of us will get cancer, that's happened in the last 40 years. Like I said, when I was a nurse, it's 1 in 6. What do you think has happened from then until now? You go to our shops and you know why. So the we got in our supermarket. So please beware that the people that's selling you food in the supermarkets, they don't give about your life. They just want to make money and at your expense of your health. And we're all bought into it. I was the same. I used to drink whey protein. Now, any of you that youngsters are going to the gym and thinking, oh, it's quick, I'm just drinking that whey protein. Do you know what? When I was your age, farmers used to throw away that whey protein. It was waste. Then somebody had a clever idea. Let's take it through this process. You know, I was sponsored by so many supplement companies. They made me go on courses to learn this process called cross-flow microfiltration, where they put this whey protein through this process, machines, add chemicals to it, and you're drinking it thinking, oh, I'm building muscle. No, you're not. You're weakening your immune system because that whey protein, I'm sorry to say, but it's if you want protein, eat an egg. If you want protein, eat a steak. If you want protein, eat a chicken. This is how the body works. If you want protein, right, as a human being, if you want muscle, if you want to build muscle, right, you catch another animal and then you kill it. And then you eat its muscle. And then your body changes it into amino acids and it builds the muscle. At no point did whey protein come into it. It isn't. Whey protein is something that it's a chemical. There's a bit of, whey is like a byproduct of cheese manufacture that used to be thrown away. So there's a little bit of, you can say a bit of milk in it. But even then, I wouldn't touch the milk around because milk has been pasteurized. All of a sudden, they said milk that our ancestors have been drinking for a long time, it's not good for us. It contains chemicals, so let's pasteurize it. So they go to the cow, get the milk from the cow, then they take it through a machine, kill all the real milk. Comes with enzymes for your body to digest. But the milk that you get from the shops, they're taking all the digestive enzymes out of it. They're taking all it's called homogenized and pasteurized. So it's like drinking sugar water. So I would never touch milk because I just think that it's a lot of raw milk. If I was going to drink milk, I'd drink raw milk. But in some areas, it's illegal. You can't drink raw milk anymore. When I was young, I used to be able to get the milk. In fact, now, remember when we were younger, the milkman used to deliver the milk. It used to have a big, thick, fat bit on top. Now it's not. You buy the milk, I've got milk that's been sitting in my fridge for about 2 weeks. Nothing wrong with it. It doesn't even smell. What do you think they've done to the milk for it to be like that? Buy skimmed milk and put it in the fridge and then leave it don't touch it for about 2 weeks and then look at it. In the past, it used to smell. It doesn't. What are they doing to our food? It's all to do with, corporations making money. And everything is designed to last for as long as possible. So let's fill the shelves with food that you can just send across the world without it being destroyed. For instance, I don't eat fruit or vegetables. I'm sure if you follow me, you know that. I'll tell you why. When I was a child in Ghana, I used to love avocados. I used to eat avocados until it was going out of fashion. And then when I came over to the UK, every time I ate avocado, I got like an itchy mouth, itchy throat, and sometimes my lips would swell up, sometimes I'd throw up, and I'm thinking, why? So I went back to Ghana in 1995 when my mum died. I went for the funeral, and I thought, let me try an avocado. Perfect. So what have they done to the avocado in the UK? Do you know why? Fruits are seasonal, but because we want fruits all the time, so they import them from Papua New Guinea, wherever they bring it from, and then they put chemicals with it, because do you think a fruit will last for that long? They put chemicals on it to stop it from getting ripe, and they bring it, ship it over, and then we go into the shops buying it, and then before you know it, we're sick, and we're walking around, well, what's wrong with you? Nothing. Doctor says, nothing's wrong with you, because you're eating chemicals. That's exactly what we're going through. And unfortunately, it's become so normalized, and I refuse to normalize it. All I'm trying to do is educate you young people to realize that, if you eat properly, you'll feel like a completely different person, and it's all to do with what you put in here. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. If you let me, I'll stand here and talk for hours. Artificial sweetness, they were all accidental discoveries. I think we don't know which one of the sucralose scientists. This is a story, and you can research if you want. Scientists in America, they were looking for a pesticide. And then because the pesticide has to be sweet. Pesticide is used to kill things, okay? Then they've tested it was sweet. Somebody was giving instructions, said, test it. But he made a mistake, he thought they meant taste it. Because it's European, and he thought it meant taste it. So he tested it, next minute it's on the shelves. So all artificial sweeteners are chemical concoctions. Like if I have some sucralose, I get tummy ache straight away. They're not meant to be digested by human body. But here's the thing, right? I want to tell you about whey. You see, this is how you build muscle. When you go down the gym and you train, you're tearing the muscle. They're called micro tears. They form across the muscle. Remember, when you're training, for the people who are trying to build muscle, when you train, you tear the muscle. The micro tears form across the muscle, and then your body has to repair that and improve on it. That's it. That's how your body builds muscle. Now, the nutrients or the amino acids that your body is going to use to repair comes from the food that you ate days before, not what you're eating straight away. When you eat, the food enters your stomach, and then the body has to massage it, move it about, release the hydrochloric acid, release the right enzymes. It takes days to have access to the food. The reason why we think whey is very efficient, because it's like sugar water. When you drink it, straight away, release the insulin into your bloodstream, and you think, oh, it's bioavailable. Whey is farmers used to throw it away. I'm sorry to say that. If you want to build muscle, please eat eggs. Eggs are the best protein on the planet, apart from breast milk. For human beings, eggs are the best protein. And I tell you one thing, right? In the 90s, when we used to bodybuild, we used to ask breastfeeding women to give us, no, that's the truth. You could buy breastfeeding women to get us milk. That's what we used to do. That's how extreme we were in building muscle using natural foods. None of this that we got in our shops. When you go to the supermarket, they got this way, diet way. It's all nonsense. Read the ingredients. Some of them you can't even pronounce because they're not food. Please, 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 if you're eating whey, if you're drinking whey, cut it out of your diet. The thing is, I'm from the fitness industry. I've been sponsored by so many companies that produce whey protein. I've gone on courses and been taught how whey protein is made. For me to be saying that, I'm telling you that, it gave me lots of health problems until one day I was sitting, I put a post up on social media. I had prostate problems where I had this, sorry to be graphic, but I had a permanent pain in my right testicle. And it wouldn't go away, and I kept thinking, and I knew that, I thought, okay, maybe it's the steroids. I put a post up on social media, on Facebook, it's a long time ago, 2016. Someone put a comment and said, Eddie, is it true that whey protein affects your prostate adversely. I'd never heard of it. This is one of the reasons why I'm screaming and shouting. The next day I took the whey out of my diet and that pain disappeared. And I'm telling you that whey protein is not food. It doesn't matter how they market it. It doesn't matter what anybody says. Don't eat it. If you want good health, if you want to build muscle quicker, drink or eat protein that we are meant to eat as human beings. Whey protein is a chemical concoction. Don't drink it. If you go to the supermarket, right? Chicken wings are so cheap because everybody thinks but they're actually better for your health than the breasts are. But the idiots walk around eating the breast thinking they're being healthy. It's not. It's actually, the wings are better. And when you eat the wings, if you've got family, like your mum or your auntie or they're going to the shop and buying the health food shop and buying this collagen powder and all of that, tell them, you know where you get collagen from? The chicken wings. You know when I know what you guys, when your mum is sitting there and chewing the chicken, chewing the bone, that's where the collagen is. We're supposed to eat that bit as well. We used to laugh at my mum. I'm like, Mum, there's chicken there. Why are you eating the bone? She's knowing it. Because that's where the collagen is, the connective tissue. That's where the collagen is. So eat the chicken wings. Eat mince, mince, full fat mince. It's very cheap. Eat it. Buy lots of eggs. I know I buy, the eggs that I buy are, free range, organic, but I'm not, obviously they're better than the caged eggs, hen eggs. But at the same time, it's the difference between driving a Skoda and a Lamborghini. So even the caged hens are still better than drinking the whey protein. So you can buy eggs, you can buy the chicken wings, buy mince, cut, chop stuff up, make it in bulk and freeze it. Don't listen to the they go in the shops and you think, oh, I'm going to get meal deal. Now, the person that invented the meal deal, do you know how much money they made? And you know how many people that meal deal actually hurts in this world? So here's the thing. Meal deal is trying to make you think, sit back and chill. Don't worry about lunch. We make something for you. So we're all going around lining up like zombies, buying this meal deal, some of them energy drinks. You can get one for about £3. And it's all, look at the sandwiches. First of all, bread. I wouldn't touch bread bread is not food. The bread that we got now, bread is supposed to have about 4 ingredients. Look at it now. It's got about 19 ingredients with some names that you can't even pronounce. They're not food. And then look at all the other stuff in it. And then they got energy drinks or some sugar. And then a packet of crisps. None of it is food. But we're eating it thinking that, it's giving us energy. Remember, the energy that you're using today is from food you ate about 2 days before.